For decades, the name Diddy has been synonymous with music, power, and an untouchable empire. From hit records to fashion lines, he built a brand that seemed invincible. But what if the gleaming facade of fame hid a darkness so profound, so deeply disturbing that it could shatter everything we thought we knew? What if the true story of that empire was written not in platinum plaques, but in the terrified silence of those trapped within its walls? Today, the Diddy trial has taken a chilling turn. We've heard about alleged racketeering, sex trafficking, and a criminal enterprise that used threats, violence, and lies. But even against that backdrop, what was revealed in court today will shock you to your core. We're talking about allegations so graphic, so deeply personal, that they force us to confront the darkest corners of human behavior and the terrifying abuse of power. This isn't just about headlines. It's about the alleged destruction of lives behind the velvet ropes. Imagine being plucked from obscurity, stepping into a world of incredible access and limitless wealth. You're working for one of the most powerful men in entertainment. But what if that dream job quickly became a nightmare? What if your every move was controlled, your privacy stripped away, and your body no longer your own? What if the very person you worked for, the one who held your future in their hands, allegedly became your greatest terror? Today, the courtroom was gripped by the testimony of a woman identified only by the pseudonym Mia. A former personal assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, Mia served him and his company, Revolt Films, for 8 harrowing years, from 2009 until 2017. Her voice was often a whisper, sometimes breaking with tears, as she recounted alleged experiences so traumatic, so unspeakable, that they pierced through the thick walls of legal language and straight into the heart of the ongoing trial. Mia described how, just a few months into her employment, the alleged horror began. It was at Diddy's 40th birthday party at the lavish Plaza Hotel in New York City. A moment that should have been a celebration, a career highlight, allegedly became the scene of her first assault. Mia testified that Diddy called her to the kitchen, offered her 2 shots of vodka that hit me kinda hard. What happened next, according to her testimony, was a shocking and terrifying blur. She recalled Diddy allegedly leaning in to kiss her against the wall, putting his arm up her dress, and then, the next thing she remembered, she was sitting in a chair in another room as the sun came up. Can you imagine the confusion, the terror of waking up in a strange place, recalling only fragments of an alleged assault? But the alleged assaults, Mia testified, didn't end there. She recounted another incident around 2009 or 2010 at Diddy's Los Angeles home. Mia was allegedly asleep in a bottom bunk bed when, she testified, Diddy climbed on top of her and raped her. The most chilling detail? The door was unlocked. Not because she forgot, but because, according to Mia, Combs's house rules forbade assistants from locking their doors. A rule that allegedly left her vulnerable without any means of escape or privacy. What kind of power is this? That someone's personal space, even their most intimate moments, can be so utterly controlled. And then, Mia detailed another alleged sexual assault that took place at Combs's Los Angeles home. She was packing a bag on the floor in Combs's bedroom closet when, she testified, he appeared with his penis out. Mia's words, spoken in a near whisper, were horrifying. He grabbed my head and he put it in there. These are not just allegations of violence, they are allegations of extreme dehumanization, of a complete disregard for boundaries and consent. Mia testified that she never initiated any sexual contact with Combs, never told him she wanted to have sex. Instead, she said she froze and didn't react during each alleged incident. When asked why she never told him no, her answer laid bare the alleged terror she lived under. She was afraid Combs would fire her, ruin her future, or physically hurt her. Her words cut deep. I couldn't tell him no, like about a sandwich. Mia testified that she never initiated any sexual contact with Combs, never told him she wanted to have sex. Instead, she said she froze and didn't react during each alleged incident. When asked why she never told him no, her answer laid bare the alleged terror she lived under. She was afraid Combs would fire her, ruin her future, or physically hurt her. Her words cut deep. I couldn't tell him no, like about a sandwich. I couldn't tell him no about anything. There's no way I could tell him no. Think about that level of alleged control, where saying no to a simple request could lead to career ruin or physical harm. What does that do to a person's spirit, their sense of self? And how many others might have been in similar situations, too terrified to speak? Mia's testimony is not just shocking, it's a critical piece of the puzzle in the Diddy trial. Her words, spoken under oath, aim to provide the jury with a direct account of alleged sexual assault and a toxic work environment. The prosecution intends to prove that Combs and his inner circle operated as a criminal enterprise, using coercion, violence, and threats to protect his reputation and ensure compliance. The defense, meanwhile, has acknowledged some violence but firmly denies the federal crimes. How will Mia's harrowing testimony impact the jury? What other details of this toxic workplace will come to light? And what does her courage to speak out mean for others who may have suffered in silence? The answers are still unfolding, and we're here to break down every single detail. Stay tuned to CEtrends for the full story. The jury, already hearing weeks of shocking testimony, sat in rapt attention as Mia, a former employee of Sean Diddy Combs, took center stage in his federal criminal trial. Her appearance marked a pivotal moment as she is expected to continue her testimony into Friday, wrapping up the third intense week of this high-stakes legal battle. For those unfamiliar with the magnitude of this case, Diddy has pleaded not guilty to incredibly serious charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If found guilty, he could face a sentence as severe as life in prison. Prosecutors have painted a grim picture, arguing that Combs and his inner circle operated not just as a music and entertainment empire, but as a sophisticated criminal enterprise. They allege that Diddy used a terrifying arsenal of methods: threats, violence, drugs, bribery, arson, kidnapping, and outright lies to force his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura into participating in what they've called freak-offs. Beyond that, prosecutors claim these tactics were also used to fiercely protect Diddy's powerful, yet increasingly fragile reputation. The allegations are not just about personal misconduct, they're about a vast, organized criminal operation. On the other side, the defense has acknowledged certain aspects of Diddy's past. They've admitted that Combs had a history of violence with romantic partners and even described his sex life as a bit of a different sex life. However, they adamantly argue that these admitted behaviors, concerning as they may be, do not amount to the federal crimes he is currently charged with. It's a key distinction they're trying to draw for the jury, separating personal conduct from criminal conspiracy. The core of Thursday's testimony came directly from Mia, who worked as Combs' personal assistant and also for his company, Revolt Films, from 2009 until 2017. Her voice, described as nearly a whisper, sometimes breaking with tears, revealed a series of alleged sexual assaults. The first alleged incident, according to Mia, happened just a few months into her employment, during Diddy's 40th birthday celebration at the opulent Plaza Hotel in New York City. She testified that Combs asked to speak with her in the kitchen and offered her 2 shots of vodka. Mia said the drinks hit me kinda hard. Her memory of what followed was hazy, but she recounted being shocked when Combs allegedly leaned in to kiss her against the wall and put his arm up her dress. The next thing she remembered, she was sitting in a chair in another room as the sun came up. This initial account paints a disturbing picture of an alleged assault under the influence, leaving her disoriented and traumatized. The alleged horrors continued. Mia testified about another incident around 2009 or 2010 at Combs' Los Angeles home. She described being asleep in a bottom bunk bed when Combs allegedly climbed on top of her and raped her. A deeply disturbing detail, as Mia testified, was that the door to her room was unlocked. This wasn't by accident. It was, she stated, part of Combs's house rules that assistants were not allowed to lock their doors. This rule allegedly removed any semblance of privacy or safety, turning a supposed place of rest into a site of vulnerability. A third alleged sexual assault, also at Combs' Los Angeles home, took place in his bedroom closet. Mia testified she was packing a bag on the floor when Combs allegedly appeared with his penis out. In a truly harrowing moment, she recounted his alleged action. He grabbed my head and he put it in there. These are not merely accusations. They are specific, graphic details that paint a picture of severe and repeated alleged violations, showcasing a complete disregard for consent and personal autonomy. A critical part of Mia's testimony focused on her inability to resist or refuse these alleged assaults. She stated clearly that she never initiated sexual contact with Combs, nor did she ever tell him she wanted to have sex. Instead, she testified she froze during each incident and didn't react. When directly asked why she never told him no, her answer laid bare the alleged terror she lived under. Mia feared Combs would fire her, ruin her future, or physically hurt her. Her powerful words echoed across the courtroom. I couldn't tell him no, like about a sandwich. I couldn't tell him no about anything. There's no way I could tell him no. This statement is crucial to the prosecution's case, as it highlights the alleged coercive control that prevented victims from speaking out or resisting, a key element in sex trafficking charges. Mia also revealed why she never sought help from the company's human resources department. She believed they were there to punish, not protect employees. Furthermore, she expressed a deep skepticism that anybody would believe her. This speaks to a systemic issue within organizations where powerful figures might create an environment where victims feel isolated, disbelieved, and without recourse. Despite the profound trauma, Mia stated she absolutely did not want to talk about these incidents, but felt a moral obligation to speak out now. Her reason is powerful. When you're scared into silence, these things continue to happen to others, she said. She described her experience as the most traumatizing and worst thing that's ever happened to me. Her courage to recount such deeply personal and painful experiences under oath is immense, driven by a desire to prevent others from suffering. Beyond the alleged sexual assaults, Mia detailed a deeply toxic and chaotic work environment dominated by Combs' ever-changing and unpredictable moods. She described instances where Combs allegedly physically assaulted her, threw objects at her, or subjected her to humiliating rants. One night, after Mia paused a request to retrieve a tampon, Combs allegedly launched into a humiliating rant in front of others and aggressively threw a bowl of spaghetti at her. Though it didn't hit her, the act was enough to send her running outside barefoot, hiding in a bush before finding refuge in a hotel. In another incident, when Combs' Wi-Fi didn't work, he allegedly threw a computer at Mia's head, narrowly missing her. These incidents illustrate a pattern of alleged volatile behavior and aggression. The demands of the job were immense. Mia testified that she was just 25 or 26 when she applied to work for Combs, and even her initial interview involved Combs answering the door in his underwear, with the HR head leaving shortly after introductions. She described her first 24 hours on the job with no sleep, and said working long, brutal hours was the norm. At one point, she claimed she worked for 5 days straight without sleep, using extended-release Adderall to stay awake. This detail paints a stark picture of the extreme conditions and alleged pressure within Combs' inner circle. The jury was shown a chilling list of job responsibilities Mia herself wrote in November 2011. This list included instructions like protect him at all times and anticipating his needs, whims, and moods. She also noted that Combs could ask her to do 17,000 things at one time, from cracking his knuckles to writing his next movie to doing his taxes. This handwritten list provides a stark look at the alleged all-encompassing nature of her role and the expectations placed upon her. Adding to the sense of confinement, Mia testified that she wasn't allowed to leave Combs' homes without his permission. And echoing earlier testimony, she confirmed that only Combs' security personnel were allowed to lock their doors, further cementing the alleged lack of personal freedom and safety. For about a year, Mia was the sole personal assistant. When asked how she felt during that time, her response was telling, "I didn't have time to feel, but, insane." This powerful statement encapsulates the alleged psychological toll of working in such a high-pressure, controlled, and allegedly abusive environment. Mia's testimony is incredibly impactful for the prosecution's case. It provides deeply personal and harrowing accounts that directly support the charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Her detailed recollections of alleged assaults, the inability to say no, the fear of retaliation, and the toxic work environment paint a compelling picture for the jury. Her expected return to the stand on Friday will be closely watched, as the defense will undoubtedly launch a rigorous cross-examination to challenge her statements and credibility. The prosecution, confident in their progress, has indicated they are ahead of schedule and may rest their case within the next 2 weeks. This suggests they believe they have already presented sufficient evidence to make their case. The defense, while acknowledging some past issues, will continue to argue that the alleged acts do not constitute federal crimes, former employee, or highlight any potential inconsistencies. The Diddy trial continues to unfold with revelations that challenge our understanding of power, fame, and accountability in the entertainment industry. Mia's courageous testimony provides a stark, unsettling glimpse into a world few ever see, and it raises critical questions about how long such alleged patterns of behavior can remain hidden. What do you think about Mia's detailed accounts? Her raw honesty in the face of such trauma is undeniable. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights and reactions are what truly drive the conversation here at CEtrends. We are committed to bringing you the most thorough, easy to understand, and unbiased coverage of this monumental trial and all the biggest stories in celebrity news. If you're not already part of our growing community, make sure to subscribe to CEtrends right now and hit that notification bell. This way you'll never miss an update, especially as this trial reaches its climax. And to ensure you're fully immersed in every facet of this ongoing legal drama, we highly recommend diving into some of our other critical videos. Check out Diddy Trial Day 11, the chilling threats that reveal his true power, to understand the broader scope of the claims. For a deeper look at the other key witness, watch Diddy's Trial. Day 11, every shocking detail. Police and fire investigators discovered, and for context on the legal definitions, don't miss our playlist on Diddy Trial. You can find all these vital videos and our complete trial coverage by clicking the links on your screen now or by visiting our channel page. Thank you for choosing CEtrends as your trusted source for breaking celebrity news. We'll be back with another essential update as soon as the next development unfolds in this historic trial.